Here we have 17.0 grams of water is decomposed at STP, standard temperature and pressure. What volume of hydrogen gas is produced? So we know that if we're using STP, standard temperature and pressure, 22.4 liters equals 1 mole. And we know that we are going from water and it's decomposing. So we're going to start out with water as a liquid. It's decomposing, which means it's breaking up into its parts. It told us one part was hydrogen gas. Okay? And so we know the other part is going to split right down the middle, and that's oxygen gas. We're going to balance it here. I have 4 hydrogens, 2 oxygens, 2 oxygens. To get our mole ratios, make sure you remember the diatomics, Brinkelhoff, so that you have the right coefficients, because if you didn't have the 2 here, you would have had to have it out in front to balance, and that's going to throw off your answers. What volume of hydrogen gas is produced? Okay, so what are we starting with? We're starting with grams. And so we're going to go from grams to moles. So we always go from grams to moles. And then we go to mole ratio. That's where we change from A to B. And then from the mole ratio, we're going to go to volume. Okay, so looking on our map, we started out here as grams of substance A. We can't do the mole ratio from here because the mole ratio lines only go from mole islands. So we have to go from grams to moles. And then the moles of substance A, we take that mole ratio to the second archipelago, and that will give us the moles of substance B. And from there, we have to get to volume. Well, I know volume is liters, so then I'm going to travel on to liter island for substance B. Start with what I know, 17.0 grams of H2O, fraction bar. I'm going to go to moles. So what do I do to go from grams to moles? My mole map on Mole Island said I use molar mass for that. 16 plus 1.01 plus 1.01, 18.02 grams are in 1 mole of H2O, and I'm going to write the species each time to make sure when I do my mole ratio, I get the right answer. So if I cancel here, I'm now at moles, so I made it to that next step. I used my first unit conversion of molar mass. Now from moles to mole ratio, I have to use the equation. Moles of H2O has to be on the bottom because that's where we're coming from, and we're going to the island of hydrogen gas. So we're going 2 moles of H2 because we're going to that center island there. What is that? Moles of H2O is 2. Moles of H2 is also 2. So in this case, they're going to cancel each other out, but we still have to write it. Moles of water, moles of water. So now if we stopped here, we'd be at moles of hydrogen. And what do we want? We want volume. So we just did the second mole ratio here. Okay, and now we have to get to volume for our third conversion. And when we look on the map, it says use 22.4. 1 mole is 22.4 liters, and we can do that because it's at STP. Now the moles of hydrogen are canceled out. So 17.0 times 1 times 2 times 22.4 divided by 18.02, and since I didn't use parentheses, I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to divide by the 2, hit enter, and I could divide by the 1 again, but I know it's going to give me that same answer. 21.13207, but I need 3 sig figs because the trailing 0 has a decimal, so 3 sig figs. 21.1, and what are my units? Liters. What was my species? I changed to H2. And then I box my answer.